Good afternoon to you all. Well, I'm out for a camp at last. It was pretty hard work getting in here, but I'm here. It's a shame because it's a permission location and there is actually a track that in theory I could have brought the truck in here and not have to walk it, but there's some horrendous ruts, and seeing as my suspension is standard height and I'm on standard size tyres and so on, it wasn't worth the hassle. It really wasn't. Walking in was tiring enough. Certainly doing a 2 or 3 hour off-road recovery would have been beyond me. But yeah, nice location. Let me spin the camera around. I'll give you a quick look round. There's Mr. Mark and Lady Dingo.
Princess Dingo.
Princess Dingo, sorry. And yeah, nice little piece of woodland. We haven't travelled too far from home, you know, maybe like 20 minutes, half hour, something like that. But it was worth it. A, because it's a permission site. It's owned by a friend. And B, it's nice and flat in here, which is the downside of camping, you know, very local to me, around the Hastings sort of area. Everywhere's hills and valleys and streams, and it all looks pretty, but it's quite difficult to find a flat spot if you're using a tent. So this should make a nice change. Right, what are we using today? Oh, good old F2 French Army tent. I haven't used this for a while, and I really like this. And of course you've seen me use this before. Lots of people have seen them, nothing unusual with that. But I have 2 other items to go inside that I've never used before. One being a sleep mat, one being a sleeping bag. There's a story to both. I'll get set up and then you can have a look. Right, the first thing for testing out today, one Tiger sleep mat. I believe it's called Obsidian. I think, I'm going from memory. I haven't bought it or they haven't sent it or anything like this. It actually belongs to Mark and he's just lent it to me to try out. Now I normally have my Nemo sleep mat, which I absolutely love, but this is about half the price. And if you can believe the figures, this is warmer. Not that it really matters today, but mine, I think it's got an R rating of something like 4.2, where this is meant to be, I believe, 5.2. Will I notice the difference? Will I find it warmer? Will it be as comfortable? It's half the price. If it does tick all them boxes, it's a bit of a bargain, I think. So, let's get that blown up, get it in the tent. Right, well, that's got that blown up. It's a decent size. I'd say it's more or less the same size as my Nemo. The only real difference is it's got this sort of pocket air with the dimples in between, where mine is more like waves but in both directions. Feels a bit softer, although it's pumped up quite hard. I'm sure it'll be okay, but I mean the acid test will be at night. I'm a side sleeper. Will my hip touch the floor when I'm turning? That's always the good test. In my Nemo, doesn't happen. It's structurally quite strong. This doesn't feel as firm. Might be fine. We won't know until the morning, will we? And here is the new sleeping bag. Now, I have bought this. It was one of them very late night purchases where you're browsing AliExpress. And I should have known better, to be honest. It was advertised as a down bag. It's not. Even though it's down bag in the title and this, that and the other, there's even a little label on the inside saying what the outer, inner and filling is. It's synthetic. But it's made by Jungle King. It's a lovely feeling material, feels really soft, should be quite nice. It's quite obviously a cheap bag. It's only a very average zip, shall we say. They're very proudly printed on the outside here, 8 degrees and down to -8 degrees with 0 as comfort. Now, unless that's going to loft up an awful lot, I don't believe it for a minute. But although it's not as advertised, it's not a down bag, I'm still fairly happy with what I've got for the money. It was $19.95 with free postage. So even for a synthetic bag, that's pretty damn cheap. If it had been a down bag, it would have been bargain of the century. But if it's just a decent, 2-season, maybe 3-season bag for sub 20 quid, I can't go wrong, really. And also, it's not something I'm going to worry about roughing it in the woods. If it gets mucky and dirty and crappy and damaged and whatever, at £20, it don't matter, does it? But yeah, Jungle King, I'd never heard of them. But when I looked on their website, they actually do quite a big range of sleeping bags. Some might even be down, who knows? But that'll be bed for tonight.
Iron up them tikka balls.
Yeah, yeah.
What she's doing.
Right, time to sit down and have a beer. It's been a while. Cheers,
Yes.
Marky.
Cheers, Alan.
I mean, it must be probably over a month we've done a camp sort of together, isn't it? At least, because I've been poorly for quite a while. And to be honest, I was knackered just walking in here. So it was the right decision not to go camping. Certainly solo. Even now, I wouldn't risk a solo because if things took a turn for the worse, he's got to carry me out. Well, I fit in your rucksack.
Probably, it's big enough.
Yeah, quite possibly. So yeah, but it's lovely to get back out in the woods for a proper overnight and
On a nice sunny day.
Yeah, beautiful day at the moment.
Peaceful.
Absolutely beautiful. Not a cloud. Not silly hot.
No.
It's just really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect temperature in here.
So we're going to have a beer. I've got my tent set up, as you would have already seen. Mark's got his to put up over there in a minute. He's got a nice, interesting vintage one, which we'll have a look at in a minute.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, yeah. When it first turned up at work, we unpacked it in the warehouse and had a little look.
Yeah.
But of course, you can't put it up properly. But it looks really interesting, and the condition, I mean, it could be new, couldn't it, virtually?
Yeah.
There's not a mark on it, so it'd be interesting to see that.
Goodbye, hopefully.
Later. Yeah, I hope so. And yeah, we'll do that in a bit. And then we've got the normal firewood to sort out and all that old rubbish. But I probably won't even bother filming that. You've all seen someone collect wood, haven't you, really?
There's only so much of it you can film.
Yeah, it's hardly groundbreaking, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, hardly groundbreaking.
Right now, I just want a fire to keep these bugs away.
Yeah, there's a few about, but I suppose it's the warmth, isn't it, now? It's that time of year. Had a little shower the other night, bit of dampness, and there's a stream just over there as well. Which,
And over that.
oh yeah, got another one over there. So yeah, so there's a bit of water about, which always encourages them, isn't it?
Yes.
No, never mind.
We'll
Never mind.
survive.
The little buggy ones don't mind. It's the big bloody hornets and all that sort of thing that I just don't want,
You
really.
got tagged by one of them a couple of years ago.
I
didn't
did,
you?
yeah. Got bit by a hornet, bastard things.
It was in your backpack.
Tell me, what good is a hornet? What does it actually do?
I understand bees,
Yeah,
because they make honey.
Yeah,
and stuff.
bees, pollinators, and all that sort of thing. But like,
But wasps and hornets.
yeah, big old bird flying over. Yeah, but they're just bloody annoying, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're put on earth to annoy people.
Just a wasp on steroids. That's what they are.
I don't even think they're food for anything. I can't think of anything that would have a go at one of them.
And they're always so angry. Why are they always so angry? Like, they ain't got bills to pay, they ain't got rent to pay. They're always so angry, aren't they? They've always got an attitude.
Yeah, next time one lands on it, go, chill out for fuck's sake. Bastard things.
Why are they so angry all the time? I don't get it.
Oh, never mind. You don't care, do you, Dingo? Nah. You just want some more of these little chicken balls, don't you?
She's got bits of leaf all over her nose.
Silly dog.
Test, make sure it's flat.
Dingo. One of these.
Yeah, fine.
Last one. You're not having any more though.
I'm just gonna sit here like this.
Good girl.
Sleep like this.
You eat too many of them and you poo in Daddy's tent, he won't be happy with you.
No.
No. I know you like them. Good girl. Ain't you? Good girl.
Sleep like this, be fine. Sleep like that.
You being a good girl? Are you being a good girl? You're not barking at me. It's only taken you a year to get used to me, hasn't it? Strange creature with big ears. You say hello. Still a little wary, aren't you? It always helps when I've got food. None now, but good girl. Well, I'm just having a bit of a wander around this woodland. It's quite a large wood that's been divided up into parcels, and the bit that we've got permission for is about sort of 5 acres, you know, which is more than enough. The size of the acreage doesn't really matter, does it? When you're in the middle of a very large wood, you know, it fills a big area. Interesting, I've seen plenty of deer trail, so that's always a good sign of a nice healthy woodland. and also it's a location where there's been wild boar. Whether they're actually here permanently or passing through, I don't know. But there's definitely been wild boar in here. So there might even be some piggy visitors. Who knows? Not that they're an issue. They're really not an issue. People worry too much about wild boar. The only time you ever really get an issue with them is in the springtime when the mothers have got their young and they feel cornered, and then of course they'll be very defensive. But apart from that, they tend to avoid people, so they're not really a problem. I don't know if you can see through the trees there. Mark's just setting his tent up. Mine's over the back. I'm on the edge of it's a dried up stream. It's just muddy at the bottom. It's not really wet, but there's plenty of fresh footprints of the deer at least. So we might see them later, hopefully. Well, I don't know how noticeable it is on camera, but around this stump, no greenery whatsoever, where it's green throughout the rest of the woodland here. It's quite churned up here. Definite depression there, and a definite depression here. I wonder whether in the wetter weather, this has been where the boar has been. They do like a muddy bit to wallow in and roll about and get it on their skin and whatever. And they do like root about round old stumps because they're after the bugs and slugs and all that sort of thing they like eating. And also, of course, in a woodland like this, they love acorns, nuts in general, that sort of thing. It's all part of their natural food. But it's certainly here, there, has definitely been rooted up. And it's not you, is it, Dingo? You didn't do it, no. Something's been rooted in there, and the boar do make a mess. They do plough ground up. But the definite depression there and there as well. It could be an old site for the boar. Definitely gonna have to keep my eyes open. I'd love to catch one on film. I've only actually seen them in person on a couple of occasions in the last 30 plus years. They're very, very elusive creatures. Maybe first light, or when it's just going dark, and even then they avoid people like the plague. So unless they're ones where there's a community quite close to a village or something, and they get used to people, and the worst thing, of course, some people feed them. Don't do that. They just get used to human contact then. It's not safe for them. And when they've got the young and they're being a bit aggressive, they're not frightened of humans. That's where the problems start. But yeah, this might be one of their old sites. Right, I suppose one of the questions, why is the wild boar here? Well, there was wild boar all over England up until about the 1700s, and they got, hunted to extinction for their meat, obviously. Locally, they were farming wild boar recently, through the 70s and 80s, shall we say. And certainly the English people will know this, ones that are old enough. We had a big hurricane in 87, and a lot of trees come down, and the farm that was farming the wild boar locally, the pens got destroyed, fences got knocked down and that sort of thing by the fallen trees, and all the wild boar buggered off into the local woodland. And they've been travelling and multiplying all up and down the sort of East Sussex and Kent border ever since the storm of '87. When you look on websites for people that sort of keep an eye on this sort of thing, the environmentalists and so on, you get varying numbers. Some say the population is low as 400. Some say it's up around 1,000. But who knows? They're wild creatures after all. But should we just say there's a reasonable amount of wild boar in this area? Simple as that. The only other place, certainly in southern part of England, that's got this sort of quantity is down in the West Country, Forest of Dean. They've got quite a lot down there. I don't know how they got theirs. Probably the same sort of scenario, you know, escaped or someone let them loose or whatever. But yeah, it was due to the hurricane in '87 when the local ones here all escaped from the farm where there was being, you know, bred for meat basically. And now they live wild in the woods, which is no bad thing. They come from here originally, so it's nice that they're sort of reintroduced in a way. The farmers don't like them because they do make a bloody mess of the fields. They really do. You get a large herd and it looks like your field's been ploughed, and they do eat just about anything. But on the grand scheme of things, is it that big a problem? No, there's not enough of them. But I like the idea that they're back where they should be. Right, here's Mark's little vintage tent. What model was this, Mark?
It's the Field and Trek Trailmaker.
Field and Trek Trailmaker. We reckon it's mid-70s.
Yeah.
So it's older than you.
100% it's 70s, because Patrick Dickinson's got exactly the same one and he bought his brand new in the 70s. It was his first tent. He still uses it today.
So it's older than you and in better condition than you.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
He's got his retro sleeping bag and all the rest in there. The only thing he hasn't got is his retro sleep mat, because it didn't turn up in time. But this is a bit of a retro test for an upcoming trip for him. But, looks pretty neat. Huge porch area here. You probably can't see from that angle, but there's a door here, the same that side. And from where the mesh shuts, the inner, you're probably looking at 2 to 3 feet out to that front there. So, depending on the wind direction, you've got room that you could make a brew or something to eat, even in horrible weather.
I'm sure you could sit up in there as well.
Yeah, you can sit up. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Do you like it? Yes, that's the guy line you just stood on. Well done. That's amazing condition for its age, isn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Mark's lit the fire. Don't really need it for warmth or anything like that, but we were starting to get really pestered with the old bugs. Lots of little mosquitoes and flying annoying gnat things, so bit of smoke, they've buggered off. And of course it's nice to have a look at.
So there all morning.
Get in there, you bugger. Oh, hello, Dingo. You don't belong in this tent. Right, but it's time for bed. Where are we? Just on 11 o'clock. I'm sorry I haven't done much filming this evening. From about 6 o'clock, I'd had enough really. So let's see how the Jungle King not down sleeping bag does, and of course the One Tigress Obsidian mat. Be a bit of an interesting experiment. I'll let you know in the morning. See you in a bit. Good morning. 7 o'clock. I actually slept very well. As for, what I was using, this Jungle King, I think it is, yeah, Jungle King sleeping bag. I was very warm, toasty, no problem at all. Can't really fault it. Plenty of room in it for moving about, and I didn't feel restricted. The only thing I will say is I got up at some point in the middle of the night for a wee, and where the zip is quite fine, and he has got a little baffle here, a little zip baffle to get your draft out. The zip gets a bit snagged in the baffle. You have to be, sort of careful what you're doing. Don't hurry yourself. Take your time and it's fine. But apart from that, the sleeping bag was brilliant. For 1995 or whatever it was. No complaints at all. I was really warm, really comfortable. The sleep mat. Now, I slept fine, so it must have been fine. I was plenty warm enough. So, if it is a higher R rating, maybe that's where some of the warmth I had overnight came from. I can't say that I slept any better or any worse than my Nemo sleep mat, which was obviously more expensive. The only thing I will say is sometimes if I turn over, as I turn onto a side, I can bottom out the mat. I can hit the floor. Just laying on it and sleeping is not an issue. But it's with the sudden movement, it's not quite as structurally sound, not quite as supportive as the Nemo. But to be perfectly honest, for normal use, sleeping, it's absolutely fine. So that One Tigress Obsidian, I think I can just woke it up. I would rate it. It's a decent mat. It's only slightly heavier and slightly larger pack size than my Nemo. But all intents and purposes, it works the same way, and it's cheaper. So yeah, I'm glad Mark lent it to me to try out. Quite impressed. Now I've got to decide: do I need to nap more, or do I need coffee? I don't know yet. Right, I'm nearly awake. It's taking me a while to wake up. Had my coffee. Now I'm semi-awake. I'm going to do some packing and start the walk out. I don't think I'm going to film anymore though. So if you've watched this far, thank you for watching. Certainly I've enjoyed being out properly for the first time in over a month. Am I fully fit? Should I have done it? Yeah, I've been okay. Tired, but okay. And I think if I just plod on slow over these next few weeks until my medication as I get sorted out, I think I'll be alright. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you all on the next camp.